ocean is more ancient than the mountains, and freighted with the memories and the dreams of time. Since the dawn of man, we have admired, worshipped, and lived off the blessings of the bodies of water we settle near. Whether that be the Egyptians and the Nile River, the British seeing the ocean as a defensive barrier, and even something as simple as Aristotle writing about the astounding properties of the Dead Sea, and it being used as an important trade route due to the unique qualities of minerals it contained. Water can be seen as our guardian, the formless entity that humanity itself would have withered and died without. Water represents life, but as we know, all good things come at a cost, and the ocean has no morals or care for the protective bubble our species lives inside of. It can be as much a curse as it is a boon. While we use the water from the surface, many a person has stared into the murky depths, their mind ablaze with the thoughts of this strange alien reality where none of us can survive, let alone thrive. Our collective minds come up with ideas to keep us from those depths, lest we become victim to the cruel, uncaring side of our lifeline. From literature like The Shadow over Innsmouth to films such as Creature from the Black Lagoon, our creative arts show that we have stood in awe and cosmic fear of the great bodies of water we settle near. For this series, however, I would like to go even further back than media, to the eras of folklore tales and the lessons/morals they were meant to teach our young and strike fear into our peers. And thus I welcome you to my tomb, where I bide my time chronicling the horrors of this world. The monsters hiding just out of sight. The ones we see in the deepest recesses of our collective mind. Humanity has many tales of these beings. The one we will focus on tonight is the Bake-Kujira, the supposed ghost of a whale, long since hunted, seeking vengeance as it guides its skeletal frame towards its previous hunters, now seeking to make them prey to its horrible curse. There exists only one tale of the Bake-Kujira. Many translations and versions exist, but it usually goes something like this. One rainy night, something massive and white appeared off the coast of Okino Island, Shimane Prefecture. Fishermen from the village watched it get closer and closer, and finally decided to take a rowboat out and see what it was. From its size, they knew it must be some sort of whale, but no one had seen a whale like that before. As they rowed out their boat, they saw the waters of the ocean glimmer with thousands upon thousands of fish, the likes of which they had never seen. As they neared the white whale, one of the fishermen threw his harpoon, and it passed through the mass of white unnoticed. Their vision obscured by the pounding rain, the fishermen finally got a good look at the monster. It was the skeleton of a great baleen whale, without an ounce of skin nor meat on it. But it was moving and alive. The men were terrified, even more so because the ocean was writhing with unknown fish, and the skies were filled with strange birds. In the distance, they saw an island that hadn't been there before, as if they had rowed into some mysterious country. Then, suddenly, the vision ended, and the massive Bake-Kujira, for that is what they called it, retreated back into the open sea as quickly as it had come. When the fishermen went back to the shore, they speculated that it might have been the ghost of a whale killed in a hunt, or some strange god. Whatever it was, the Bake-Kujira was never seen again. In Japan, seeing a whale was a boon. It was seen as manna of the sea, gifted to them by the divine. It meant that they would have the wealth that the whale meat and oil would afford poorer villages. And as an added benefit, schools of fish would follow the whales and cause the areas around the fishing village to have a suddenly thriving population of fish to hunt. This tale of a vengeful whale ghost would serve as the yin to the blessings of the living whale's yang, the opposite reaction to the positive gains gotten from passive whaling. Whaling was such a popular practice that many villages created monuments made from the remains of the whales they hunted, called Kujira Ishibumi, which were built on top of the burial sites for the whales, named Kujira Tsuga. The final incident involving the Bake-Kujira is the tale of Mizuki Shigeru, a manga artist, who in the 1950s was working on a story involving the sea ghost, and had been eating a lot of whale meat at the time. Came down with a horrible fever, which only subsided when he quit working on the story. He called it the curse of the Bake-Kujira. Whether he was convincing himself with placebo and coincidence, or he was actually struck with a curse, is up to your discretion. Some possible explanations for the Bake-Kujira include people seeing the rotting corpse of a whale, which would be food for fish and birds, explaining the host of strange fish and birds that would accompany the spectral mammal. Another could be the enemy factions building a frame visually representing a creature, filling it with rotting meat to attract animals while they spread fires and toxins to simulate a curse. Of course, superstition is one of the many weaknesses of humankind. Prohibit the taking of omens, and do away with superstitious doubts. Then, until death itself comes, no calamity need be feared. The Sun Tzu.